Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new Review Wednesday. I hope you all are doing well and are excited for today's Review Wednesday because we are going to be talking about Deepika Padukone's newest skincare brand. Now, to be very honest, I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce the name because I've seen a couple of different variations out there. Is it 82E, 82 degree E, 82 East, 82 degree East? I do not know, so I'm just going to refer to it as Deepika Padukone's skincare brand because that is exactly what it is. We're going to be breaking it down. I have a lot of thoughts, and I want to share them with you guys. So let's get started because this is going to be slightly a longer video. I have a lot to talk about, but there are only two products and still I have a lot to talk about. So let's go. Now, since this is a new brand, I have a lot more to talk about, but if you just want to skip to the actual products, I will have timestamps mentioned for you guys in the timeline so you can skip to that. But let's talk about the basics. Where can you buy it? Now, they have their own website and they're only available through that. So they're not on Nykaa, Myntra, Amazon, or anything of that sort. You have to order from their website. Now, the shipping time personally for me was 1 day, which was amazing. I ordered it on the day it got launched and I got it delivered the next day, which was like, woo, mind blown. So I love that. Now my parcel came in a box like this. It looks really nice. It's just a basic brown box with 82E or whatever the name is mentioned right here, and skincare made with science and spirit written here in like golden embossed pattern. And this was also the box that did come to me in my PR package. I did receive a PR package too, so that's good to know. Like there is no difference between customer and content creator, influencer, whatever you want to call it, because it was the same box. So that's a big yay from my side. So we had this box. Now let's talk about their brand positioning and image because it's slightly confusing for me. So I would highly love to know your thoughts and opinions on it. Now I definitely feel like they are trying to target the luxury segment. Of course, with the price point, they are targeting the luxury, more niche segment out there. But it's slightly confusing because of the way that they're trying to go about it. They have mentioned that their skincare is made with science and spirit, but mostly what I see is like a Kama Ayurveda or a For Essential where they take an ingredient from Ayurveda and like say that put this on your face and you will get better skin. That is what I am getting from it. For example, if you look at brands these days, they're very specific in what they are doing with their products. For example, minimalist is completely ingredient led, or maybe ordinary is in the same lines. Again, when you talk about Kama or For Essential, they're very ingredient Ayurveda and all of that base. Now they are trying to marry the both together, but I don't really see the marriage happening. And even if it is, I don't think it's a very stable or a happy marriage, at least for this particular brand, because it's not reflecting through the product. Yeah, the Ayurveda is shouting out in the name, Patchouli and Ashwagandha and all of that, but the science part is not really coming through that much to me, at least. Again, let me know what are your thoughts on it. And then secondly, I do feel like with a lot of celebrity brands that are coming up these days, they definitely seem to target more mid-budget or affordable range. When it comes to K-beauty or even Anomaly, they are trying to target that mid-budget affordable range with discounts and all of that, because that is more accessible to people. But with this brand, it's definitely like out there. The price point is out there. It's honestly at a point where it's like ridiculous of sorts. It's ridiculous. It's not even aspirational, honestly. It's ridiculous is what I personally feel. But that are just my opinions. You can have a different opinion altogether, and that's completely fine as well. Now let's move on to the products, which is the exciting bit, not the exciting bit. I don't know. Depends totally from where you are coming from. Now, I personally do not buy brands because they're owned by a celebrity or promoted by a celebrity. I like to see a product for what it is, a product, and that's how I am going to be describing it. This is not because someone has paid me or not paid me. I don't know why people say that. It's just like my opinions out there. I've spent my money on this and I'm going to give you my raw, honest opinion. As always, sponsored, non-sponsored does not matter. So let's talk about the first launch that this brand had, which was a moisturizer, and it's called Ashwagandha Bounce. Now, this is what the outer packaging looks like. It comes in this nice sturdy cardboard box with golden embossment all over it. So it does scream luxury on the top of its lungs. It also has a logo up top, which is either 8 and 2 in Devanagari Lipi, or it's E in Hindi, like E. So it's either that or 82, and maybe both. That would be a great logo as well. But they also say that they're dermatologically tested, clinically tested, clean formula with an asterisk, which is a good thing because clean formula is a very wishy-washy term, and it says for all skin types. Now this one retails for rupees 2700. Yes, guys, 2700 for 50 ml of product. So let's see the actual packaging, which looks something like this. Pretty basic. It's a glass jar, a tinted glass jar. It is heavy, but it's a basic tinted glass jar. Now, as I said, it is an ashwagandha moisturizer with sodium HA. Sodium HA is nothing but sodium hyaluronic acid, our good old friend hyaluronic acid, which is not a revolutionary ingredient out there. Hyaluronic acid is present in almost all skincare. So, yeah, just mentioning it so upfront was like, okay, then I mean, you want to go the L'Oreal way, maybe. But let's talk about the product because that's what's important. Now, when I heard the term Ashwagandha Bounce, I automatically imagined that the texture would be very bouncy, like a thick, bouncy cream. But the texture is actually pretty thin, which was surprising because it does not resonate with the name at all. And when you apply it on your skin, I felt like it stays on your skin like a topical layer, like it does not get fully absorbed into the skin. So it creates this illusion of sitting on your skin up top and it feeling moisturized but not from deep within. Like I don't know how to put it in the best way because it just felt like it's there but it's not fully there. It does not get absorbed into the skin no matter how much I massage it on, no matter how little of a product I use. And I feel like throughout the day the moisturization does not last on my skin, which is a big bummer for me. I need my moisturizer to stay intact all day to keep on moisturizing my skin, and this one sadly did not give me that. Now when we talk about the fragrance, it's quite mild and mellow. It's slightly flowery. It's not overbearing or overpowering at all. But again, honestly guys, I'm not a huge fan of this moisturizer and I really wanted to love it, especially because of the amount I've spent on it. But I would say you can definitely skip this, past this, because it's not worth 2700 rupees. It did not last on my skin. It felt like a greasy layer on my skin. There's a lot of residue that happens after it, and they've mentioned to use a coin sized amount. I did not even use a coin sized amount, and for a desert skin like mine, like a Sahara desert, not a desert like a Swedish, but a desert like a Registan, it didn't moisturize my skin. My skin could not drink it up, and my skin drinks up everything. So kind of sad about this one. Alrighty, let's move on to product number 2, which single-handedly did stir up a lot of conversations. I'm talking about Patchouli Glow, which have been described as sunscreen drops. Now, this is what the outer packaging looks like. Pretty similar to the previous one, just a longer form. Again, the same information, no ingredient list and everything on here. And when you talk about the actual product, this is what it looks like. Comes in this glass jar, heavy glass jar in a lavender color. Really like the color, but overall the packaging again is pretty basic for what you're paying, which is going to be 1800 rupees. Yes, you heard that right, 1800 rupees for 30 ml. Can I start off my review by saying that this is an extremely confusing product for me, starting from the ingredient choice to the texture and everything. It is so confusing for me. Like honestly, when we talk about India, we know that it's a hot tropical country. Now, of course, we do have a colder regions, but in a general sense of things, India is a hot tropical country. So to go ahead with an oil-based texture does not really make sense for the masses. It really does not make sense. And then when you talk about the ingredients, it's a patchouli based product, and patchouli overall does not have any proper skincare benefits. Like it's a great essential oil for fragrance and all of that, but for skin it's not really known to have something so specific and powerful that you need to base a whole product out of it. So it felt a little off sync with the modern day advancements that we have in skincare. It felt a little backdated, a little in times when any ingredient with a little bit of Ayurvedicness to it would be thrown around and people would buy it. Now these days people need to know about their ingredients, the research on their ingredients, and patchouli doesn't really, hit the mark with that ingredient list. But let's move on to the texture a little bit more now. The texture, as I said, is an oily texture and the oil is slightly on the thicker side. And again, as same with the moisturizer, this does not sink into the skin. It was such a huge bummer. It was a huge bummer for me. Again, I come from the Sahara Desert dry skin type. It's winter season right now. If it cannot sink into my skin right now, it will never sink into my skin. It sat on my skin. Now, they say that you need to use just a couple of drops. But remember, these are sunscreen drops with an SPF of 40. And if you want proper coverage and protection, then you need to use a lot more than 2-3 drops. So I went in with the actual amount that you need to use it for, so like 8-9 drops, and it just sat on my skin. It was there. I had to use a tissue. I have remnants right here to blot it off and make sure that the excess was like gone from my skin, because it just sat on my skin and my makeup would not have applied on top of it because it was so oily and so slippery. Again, because this is a thick textured oil, it might take a lot of time. I see myself using it as a nighttime oil because it would be like a nice layer to make sure that my skin stays moisturized, but then again, it's a sunscreen drop product, so using it at nighttime doesn't really make sense. Again, it's a bummer for me. It's a big no from my side. Let me, however, still, describe the fragrance for you, which again is like patchouli, so it's slightly sweeter, milder fragrance. But overall, both of these products, sadly, for a huge no for me. I feel like there needs to be more research and a little bit more effort put into the product, especially where we are right now in the skincare industry. This is just not acceptable. This is just very mediocre, very mediocre. And coming from a person of Deepika's stature and also the price point that they're selling, like Deepika put aside, like the price point that they're selling at, it's a huge no from my side. But that is all that I have to say. If you've tried these products, let us know your reviews in the comment section down below. Would you be purchasing anything? Again, let us know. Skincare is subjective. You might want to check out other reviews as well. But that's going to be it from my side. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And if you did, then don't forget to comment and subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to me. I'll see you guys next time. Till then, take care. I love you all so much. Bye.